Hello, people, and welcome to the Rauta's stream. I hope this quality is okay. That is, I have no idea how this mic is going to sound. And here we are in Spain. It's already pretty dark, and what can I tell you? It's about 10 past 9, and air is already pretty chill. Just let me know if you can hear my voice because I won't be shouting. I'm doing this not in order to bother neighbors. And hello, hello, people right there, and welcome to the stream. Hello, Brian, and hello, Serbian guy. I don't know how to read those Cyrillic letters. And hello, David. Hello, Durza. Nice to have you here as well. So, since we're in Spain, it's time for some Spanish beer. And to give you a little bit of glimpse what I mean, that it's dark here. This is how it looks. So it's dark by 9 o'clock. It's definitely dark around 7 or so. Let's do a little bit of opening. And today had a little bit of a day trip to a local small pueblo, small town called the Mijas Pueblo, and spent around 2.5 hours hiking on the mountainside. And damn, it made me tired. It was fantastic. I hope to share some photos with you later on. I had a drone with me, so I'm trying to make um, some drone videos. Those who are not aware, I brought my own DJI drone here from Finland, and I am adding some drone videos on my secondary YouTube channel, Rauta Beyond. I actually yesterday uploaded my first attempt, so I am, learning to fly the thing, and that is my idea how I can show you around how it's like in Spain since I'm going to be here in for like 6 months, and also that because you know flying drones are fun, and you get to do videos and take photos from up there in the sky and see how the environment looks like. So I had my drone today as well when hiking, but unfortunately had my memory card forgotten here at home, Spanish home, if you will. So the storage space on the drone is rather limited without the memory card. So I could only take a little bit of footage with the drone. I think it was 4K setting because it filled the storage space rather quickly. So I don't know how it's going to look. I haven't yet uploaded it in my computer, but I will take a look and I will then upload some of the material on Rauta Beyond channel. But the first one, which is done nearby earlier this week, is already there in case you want to see some footage from aerial space. And now it's time to have a little bit of beer. Microphone on the way. So, how are you people doing? Here in Spain, it's warm. Outside in Finland, it's quite cold. My computer still sends me information how it's going in Finland, and it seems like it's pretty snowy and cold. Here, you can pretty much go outside with a t-shirt on. That's how I did hiking today. And hyvää iltaa, Drunk Urban. Uh, Vintage Drums is asking if I like Grausamkeit. I still haven't actually heard that band. I know the band by fame and, side projects, but I'm very, very busy always with my review albums. So even though I know the band, I never had the time to listen to it. And even more so, I rarely have time for bands which are only on YouTube. That is, if I don't have a physical copy and if they're not on Spotify when I'm on the go, it's very likely I'm not going to listen to them. Bandcamp is a good alternative to Spotify. So, to answer your question, yeah, SK is right. Hello, SK. Nice to have you here. Definitely unboxing beer. Bought some local beer. Um, this is Victoria, Malaga. Um, Assuming it's very, very local, since the place I'm living in currently is very close to Malaga. And bought a six pack of this beer from a local grocery store. Quite a lot cheaper here than in Finland. Similar kind of a lager beer would be. And yeah, to read your comments and answer your questions, Brian Mons, thank you for asking. Spain is treating me well. It's nice here now. About first 8 days here in Spain, people are nice, weather cool, living in a kind of a mountain area, but seaside is only by a car, maybe some 10 minutes away. So it's cool. I was actually originally thinking of doing this one from a local bar. Maybe the next monthly stream will be done in some village, but this is done on the terrace where I'm living. So yeah, enjoying Spain. Been visiting local places. The plan is within this 6 months period to visit more places in Spain, not just here by Fuengirola area. So idea is to see different places like Old Castle is actually nearby. Some different cities and towns like that Mijas Pueblo, which was visited today. Small, nice looking, cozy village or town, and places like that feel so different from Finland. So yeah, it's been really cool. Hello, Vladimir. Nice to have you here as well. And hello, Emil. Nice to also have you here. And the rest of people. Morjes vaan, Arvo Männikkö. Well, Brian Mons, yeah, this is kind of a SimCity ways, but also the camera on the DJI Mini 3 Pro is really good. It can actually capture 4K video. And I think I have the setting. I still am not too familiar with the settings on my drone. Mind you, this is my second drone. I managed to damage my first drone some 2 years ago, and I'm not still too familiar with all the settings. So I think I have the 4K video setting there on the drone, and I guess I need to drop it to full HD because it's not like I'm uploading 4K drone material, drone video on YouTube anyway. But yeah, the camera quality, the video quality is really really good. So if the videos suck, like because of poor camera use or poor flying skills, it's on me, not on the particular drone. But yeah, the camera is good and it's um, so fun to just fly and take those videos. Okay, Arvo, is my mic too close or anything like that? Mind you, I have different setting than here at home. I mean, at my home, I have this tabletop microphone, so it's a little bit farther away, so it doesn't pick my voice that closely. But here, because I'm trying to speak in relatively low volume in order not to, you know, bother the neighbors, and so I'm kind of speaking in a kind of a low voice, and that's why I keep the mic really close to my mouth and trying to talk a little bit less loud than usual. So I hope that it explains why my voice is a little bit different than usual. Otherwise, I would just move the mic away and talk more louder, but that wouldn't be very nice with the neighbors. So just let me know if there's something wrong with the voice quality, and I'll do my best to adjust it. Oh, Captain Sweep is attending Finnish Death Metal Maniacs in Vantaa area. Um, yeah, well, if you like old school or traditional death metal, I guess that's a good festival to take place. And thank you for your comment regarding the work for Rauta. You know, SK, am I getting a Spanish accent? I don't really know. Hello, Hongamis. Cherry Banderas. Thank you, Lone Wolf. It's not purely vacation, though, because I'm actually working here as well. So it's not just, me taking vacation for like 6 months. It's me pretty much working normally during the normal weeks and all that stuff. And yes, Emil, this is actually close to Malaga. I think Malaga is like 20 minutes drive away. And now that you asked Donald Trump on the can, looks kind of a similar. Ciao bello, Rino. Hello, Dimi. Nice to have you here as well. No, I haven't wrestled the bull yet. I actually dislike the whole idea of bullfighting. I mean, I respect the animals beyond that, but other than that, nice idea. Gyrolamp, I have actually reviewed Uja from Spain, so that's why I know the band. They contacted me more than a year ago for a review, so hence I featured them on the stream as well. Rauta lukee vanhoja jalluja indeed. Hello, Matti. Nice to have you here as well. Hello, A. Nice to have you here in the stream as well. Checked out, I gotta say, Spanish ladies, they are indeed muy caliente. I don't know if I should say that here out loud. No, Spanish people are handsome and beautiful. I can totally say that. Hello, human devil. We metalheads are doing just fine. Aska is asking if I am attending Steelfest. Yes, even though I am here in Spain until roughly early June, I am still going to Inferno Festival as well as Steelfest. So probably next month or so, I will be booking my flights to Norway and Finland. So Steelfest, definitely. Yes, the Hunter Devil. Fuengirola is only a few minutes drive away. Marbella and Torremolinos are not that far either. A gave homeless guy a chocolate once in Malaga. Now that's that's interesting. Oh, Parasomniac. Nice to have you here indeed. It's cool to have different names, matching. Uh, Lone Wolf, I heard about the Morbid concert. I think it was this fine dude from Sweden. who is my Facebook buddy, and he mentioned this Morbid concert. I didn't know how it was and with what kind of a lineup, but yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, Lamp. I know that Spanish people are indeed quite loud. They're always saying "hola" when I meet them, and I just "hola" greet them back. And yeah, they talk loud voices. But me being a Finn and the neighbors here being also from Scandic countries, I guess we are bound by our very nature and upbringing to talk in rather moderate ways, if you will. April months, you definitely should attend Steelfest, and you and me, we could have some beer. Yeah, they all speak in caps. Um, they talk loudly. They laugh loudly. They're lively people. Can't really complain about it. Uh, I have actually heard the latest Miss Thrumming album once. I think it was before I left here. It sounded good, not great, but good. So if I would give my verdict, like based on one listen only, I would say new Miss Thrumming album is roughly 8 out of 10. Check that. No, not we're not talking about Morbid Angel, no, nor I Am Morbid, but Morbid from, you know, with the Dead of Mayhem, Swedish band. Yeah, Gryfemal, Cryfimal, that would be cool to interview. Then again, I really don't have a good quality camera here in Spain, but let's see. You have to understand, a lot of people don't seem to grasp the idea, but Spain is a big country. That is, whether you go from east to west or from north to south or vice versa, it takes hours and hours. So much like France or Germany, you know, it's a big country. It's not like I just go like take a car and drive some 90 minutes. I'm at the metal show. It's more like, yeah, this is 8 hours away. So yeah, this is indeed a big country. So my it could be that there are no metal gigs or even bands around where I'm living. So I don't know whether or not I am able to do any kind of interviews while staying here. But worry not. All the Patreon money, thank you, dear supporters, will be um, saved for trips like Inferno. So that's actually how the Inferno Festival came possible this year as well. 2023, that is, because of Patreon supporters. So now, thanks to you, dear supporters, we have a hotel, booked for a Rauta crew. That is me and my camera woman Elsa this time. I might be needing some help from local Norwegian people in order to do those interviews, but at least it's possible. Once again, thanks to Patreon supporters. And yeah, hello, Dragonian. Abhorrent Spawn is asking, do I enjoy brutal death metal? I fucking do. That is, brutal death metal is just one of my favorite musical styles. Pretty much doesn't matter whether we're talking about brutal death metal, kind of a traditional death metal, or kind of a slam death, um, death grind. Death metal is just one of my favorite genres. But of course, different people have different opinions, which counts as death metal and which is brutal death metal. We recently had this conversation on Rauta Discord. Yeah, the human devil, I gotta say, Spain is definitely a nice country for tourism as well. Yeah, Doris, I can imagine that southern Italian are loud. I've been to Italy like maybe three, yeah, three times. Once to Milan, once to Rimini, and once to Sicily. So yeah, I know Italian people are quite loud. French people too. How is this Spanish beer compared to Finnish ones? Very, very German-like. This is just basic lager, nothing too fancy. Um, Usually, I wouldn't buy this kind of beer, but I was just doing normal groceries, so I didn't have time for beer hopping. Try to find local IPAs or sour beers. I probably need to do more scouting for that. I also bought myself a cheap Scotch whiskey bottle and I tested some cheap red wine, which was actually pretty good. And I'm not a wine drinking person. I just had to test some local red wine because we're in Spain. Come on, tapas and red wine. Fucking great. And I got to tell you, people, Spanish people really know how to make good meat. Whether it's this serrano ham, I'm already talking Spanish here. Serrano jamon, ham, good. Bought some local spicier kind of a sausage, really good. Actually, a couple of types, and in general, the food is good, obviously, and people really know how to make the best of their meat and sausages. Hello, Niels. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I guess Spanish black metal or metal in the first place is very variety here, different country and big ass place, obviously. So I guess different regions have different kind of impact when it comes to different kind of metal. Czech, Czech thought that is, Finland is bigger when it comes to metal scene than Spain, but when we're talking about population and land mass, Spain is so much bigger. Okay, trying to read the backlog in case you're wondering what I'm staring here. Because I know my eye contact is here. Maybe I should switch the camera. Oops. And now I managed to mess up with the camera cable. Okay, let's see. So, in case you're wondering what I'm staring right here, is in fact the chat screen. So, reading it once again in order to reply to you people. Got one drunk on wine yesterday. That can really happen subconsciously. I sometimes end up being drunk on a festival even though I don't aim to. That happened at Steelfest last year. Irani wine. Interesting. Never heard that one. Made here in Istanbul. That's cool. Uh, Ninox is asking interesting question. Would you rather have all extreme metal albums being recorded on analog instead of digital? To be honest, it doesn't really matter because I mean it depends on the people who are doing the music. Um, there are digital phases when you end up putting the music on CD or digital format. You cannot skip the digital one, even when you're doing it on vinyl. There's always digital phase nowadays. That is anyway. So whether hold on, I'm picking something is happening. So it doesn't really so much matter whether you're recording digital or um, analog. In case you don't know what you're doing, so in the end, it doesn't matter whether we're talking about recording digitally or in analog ways. It depends what kind of equipment you're using, how are you mixing it, and all that stuff. So analog has a kind of a fame for a lot of people that they're like, thinking it's some mythical thing. But to be honest, it doesn't matter that much. Um, Jackdot, I don't know if there are really big bands coming from Spain. I think one of the bigger ones, I'm guessing, is Angelus Apatrida, a thrash metal band, which is actually pretty good. Have reviewed some of their material. I think that's one of the bigger ones. But like internationally big Spanish band, I don't know any. I mean, compared to, when people are talking about like Mediterranean big bands, they probably gonna say Rotting Christ from Greece or um, Moonspell from Portugal. But when we're talking about, big Spanish metal bands, gotta say I don't know any. I think they're more or less kind of underground. But Angelus or Angelus, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Angelus Apatrida is, I guess, among the bigger ones. Arska, en ole kuunnellut Hostolin uutta levyä, en nyt yhtään tiedä mistä levystä edes puhutaan. Too many albums coming all the way. Apparent Spawn is asking what are some good Finnish traditional foods. I guess the kind of a Karelian, what's it called? Roast stew. I think it's stew, Karelian stew. I think that's kind of a famous, and of course mashed potatoes with some Finnish meatballs or reindeer meat. I mean, why not? But I don't know if Finnish cuisine has some kind of a, strong point stuff because, Finnish cuisine isn't anything special. In general, Finnish cuisine, in my opinion, lacks taste. It's just salt and pepper and fat. That is butter. Hello, Benji. Hello, Hakis. Yes, Hakis, pretty close to Fuengirola. Yeah, I gotta say, I know Empty by name from Spain, but I mean, it's not big. Yes, like Speltram, I have said that I would love to do Vikernes um, interview at some point, but let's be honest about it, not very likely. I still have like misplacing this camera. Thing here is with Bark is that first of all, he lives somewhere in France. I don't know even if he would be up for interviews, and even if he would, uh, then there's this budget thing. But I don't know. Maybe he's a kind of guy who would let me, in, so to say, and do the interview. But I have no idea. Might be like he's not going to do it. Hard to say for sure. I think Dursa is mentioning here that digital recording can destroy all the soul in the music. I think only if the music is weak. Um, A is asking my thoughts on the Take Oculus Australian tour cancellation. I was thinking of making that into a video, but then again, I don't know if there's nothing much to add to the video I made in what 2018 or so about when Take was cancelled in the United States. But I'm still thinking about it. If I mean, I have a couple of angles which I wanna address about the topic, and I guess it's worthwhile doing since that original video was done like 5 years ago. So maybe I'll get back to that later on. And Benji makes the point: autopsy might do digital and still maintain the raw, kind of a rusty, dirty sound. Hello, Muage. Nice to have you here. Morjes vaan, Jukka Ovaskainen, tervetuloa. Uh, People are mentioning Proclamation and Taten Blood and bands like that being big. Well, to be honest, even though they're old and they have certain kind of a underground fame, it's not like they're big. I mean, we don't even have to mention bands like Marduk or, you know, there's still, we have to understand that a lot of metal bands, most metal bands are never big. Even in the biggest names of black metal ones, there's only like three names which are in the million kind of a follower category: Behemoth, Cradle, Filth, and Dimmu Borgir, and they are far from mainstream. So I mean, if you have like mainstream up here, and then you have this kind of a million level fan base right here, then there's are quite a few steps, you know, before you actually touch the bottom. If the bottom is here, bands like Proclamation and Tatum Blood might be here. So there's a lot of steps before you get to this level. My point here is, even if bands like Proclamation and Tatum Blood would be big on, Spanish scene wise, doesn't mean that they're big in the world. They're still kind of underground bands. Yeah, Finnish chocolate, by the way, that Brian Mons mentioned. Finnish chocolate is good on international standards. So Thomas is asking if I have ever met Mika Luttinen. I have met Mika at least 4 times, and I have interviewed Mika Luttinen also once, but that was before Rauta. So the only video interview with Mika Luttinen is in Finnish, so it doesn't help you much. But I have met Mika over the decades at least 4 different times. Yeah, Avolst is probably one of the bigger ones from Spain. Thank you for the tips, Emil, regarding the food. I gotta try that. Benji, I wouldn't mention musta makkara. I think musta makkara is atrocious. It's like a death metal food, but I don't like it. And A, no, there is no Mika Luttinen interview on Rauta. And Brian Mons, yeah, Goat Moon eventually said like 18 months ago that they're not going to do the interview. So there's that. Oh, hello, Acrobelts. Nice to have you here on the stream. Cool. Yes, sir. I know that he's Louis nowadays. We're talking about work. Oh, Arska, yeah, now I know Höstzel. I guess I misread. I remember hearing about Höstzel maybe about 2 years ago because my friend, I guess you mean the Ayattara guy, he used to be in my bandmate with in Nightside. So yeah, I know that he's Niklas Kvarforts and Vesa's band. So I'm interested to hear what they have done with Höstzel. Yeah, and indeed about Varg, once again, I don't think he is up for that, but never know. I think Varg actually got banned from Twitter as well. He's back on YouTube, it seems, but not active. Okay, reading your back scroll, hence the silence. Yeah, I bet Varg has some interesting takes on the history, maybe not so accurate, because I mean, he's known for twisting the facts so that it fits his agenda. I'm not calling him a liar as such, but we all know that his versions, for example, about Euronymous back in the days, are not something that a lot of people agree with. Yeah, I hope that Archgoat will get back to US tour. Oh yeah, Brian Mons, I totally get why you would stop with Nicholas vocals. Have I ever mentioned that Nicholas from Shining actually called me a couple of years ago? Like, phone call. It was pretty interesting. Thank you, Belts. Yes, Spain has been treating me well. So far, I haven't met any kind of metalheads here. However, I mean, I haven't seen any kind of metal shirts, wherever I go. But then again, this is south of Spain, maybe not that common here. Nick Barker as part of Shining. That sounds pretty interesting. Sir Thomas, yeah, a friend of mine is very close to Nicholas nowadays, and I have a lot of friends who know Nicholas personally. Like, for example, his ex fiancée is a friend of mine, so I have heard a lot of stories about Nicholas and how edgy is his promotional style. So there's a lot of different stories about him and how they are indeed giving a little bit of a different story than how his output is. Yeah, I think it's good if Nicholas is back to mental facility. People might not know, but Nicholas was recently in a Finnish court of law for some really bad, um, what do you call it? He was, in the court of law for at least some kind of aggravated assault, like as in attempting or threatening to like rape someone or beat up a person and stuff like that. Why I know is that some of my friends were involved in this particular case. So, kind of a dirty story. It's weird that I have friends who are like in good terms with Nicholas, and then I have friends who would hope the man to die, like literally. So it's kind of interesting. Check out yo hablo español poco. Uh, Mi español no bien. I don't know if that makes sense. Uh, I only know very, very basics. I've been training, practicing Spanish via Duolingo for past, I don't know, 2.5 years or so. So I only know basics like "Dónde está el baño?" and "La cuenta, por favor," stuff like that. So I can do my basic stuff at a restaurant or whatever. But it's not like I can have a meaningful conversation in Spanish. Like it's easy to order food in Spanish for me, or when went to the local gym and tried to, you know, buy gym time. You know, we kind of ended up having using Google Translate. Tapping our phones like, "Hey, here's what I'm gonna say," the kind of a stuff. But with restaurants and grocery stores, I could just pretty much ask the basic stuff. But if someone else answers me anything more specific, I'm lost. Hey, yeah, exactly. Attempted rape, or more like threatening to do it. I don't know about kidnapping so much. And yeah, Spanish language is nice, but indeed they speak quickly. Hello, Rob Halfar. Nice to have you here as well. Hello, South America. Bienvenido. Jack Todd. Well, I don't know about hard lifting. Actually, for past 3 weeks, my lifting has been so much like on and off. I'm not on a program currently. I think my latest powerlifting sessions were like a month ago. Towards the end of the year, I just kind of, I don't know, I did more volume than heavy lifting. And when I was traveling here with a car, which took like a week, I had no single gym session because the driving was kind of long days, and some hotels where I would have the energy to go to the gym, they basically had only like cross trainer and a training bike and stuff like that. For example, I was in this French hotel and I went to the gym room and I was like, hey, maybe I could have a workout session. There were no weights at all. So pretty much there was like maybe 8 to 10 days gap when I didn't absolutely do nothing. Here in this house, I mean this apartment building, there's a small gym. So after a couple of days here, I went to have my first real workout, but it was like light weights, getting my body adjusted a little bit to the weights and all. And I could already got the DOMs, like I had my chest and triceps, like, oh, they're burning. But yeah, this week I had two proper volume or like hypertrophy sessions, I did some deadlifting, but only with like 160 kilos. I think I did like three sets of 10 with 160, and already my back was a little bit aching. I guess I started too heavy after, you know, absence from the gym. And I think it was day after that, I went for more volume with bench and tricep work and doing chin ups. And I still have my triceps like DOMs after 2 days. Also, my chest area is like, yeah, nicely, nicely executed. And on Thursday, I did some hypertrophy for my legs. I used the leg press for the first time in years to do a lot of volume and then some Bulgarian split squats. And now I feel like my ass is burning. I know it sounds silly. My point here is the glutes literally felt like like I'm having this burning sensation. So today when I was hiking on the mountainside, I could just feel my glutes like, yeah, DOMs. So definitely doing lifting again. I mean, I didn't have a long pause, but what was enough to just kind of my muscle to remember to forget what kind of a pain it is. Let's have another beer while we're talking. So I hope that next week I will actually have a new program in the making, more hypertrophy. That's what I have in my mind for next 6 months or so, to just focus on the volume work when here in Spain. Mind you, I found a nice gym, but it's definitely more bodybuilding gym than a powerlifting gym. For example, there is no proper bar or place to do deadlifts. There are a couple of squat racks, but most likely always taken, and there are lots of machines. So I probably will be doing something totally different in terms of my workout rather than my usual powerlifting program. So it's good time to challenge my body and to do something else. It's not like I'm going to bulk, but I guess I need a little bit of more hypertrophy for my body in order to, know, see some changes. Hello. I don't know how to say this goddamn Cyrillic name. How, uh, whatever. How this is this? I don't know. Let's let's see. How do I say this? This Russian. Um, God damn it! My mouse is not liking to. Is this Olgerd? I don't know. Oh, anyway, I guess that was a long answer to a simple question. I could have just said yes or no, but instead I started talking about my workout routine. Guess it tells you how important it is to me. I could talk for hours about cool metal albums and bands and powerlifting. Muage, I have been uh, trying out a couple of different local beers in Spain so far, but so far I've mostly encountered some um, mainstream beer brands. So within a week or so. Not exactly, um, not too experienced with Spanish beer. When I was in Barcelona in 2012, back then I tested quite a few Spanish beers, but pretty much all I could find was like lager beers. Estrella or San Miguel and stuff like that. Buenas noches, hijo del sol negro. And yeah, Rob Hellfire. It's interesting how some hotel gyms don't have weights at all. It's just cross trainer and some rowing machine, training bike, whatever. Mancurl is asking me if I saw the DWTV about Waked Metal Festival. No, I didn't. What's it all about? Yeah, Rob, I will be back to normal lifting soon enough. And yeah, definitely, Nick Barker is a good drummer. The way I got to know him was in the 90s via Cradle of Filth, and he was nailing it. Technical, speedy, and just good flow with the drums. It's not like he's my favorite drummer, but he is really good. And of course, after Cradle of Filth era, I have heard him in various different bands. So yeah, he's I guess one of the biggest extreme metal drummers. Linux about empty album. I will review if I get the review copy. Simple as that. Oh, Chuck Todd, I'm sorry to hear about your bicep being torn. Must suck. I haven't been training 20 years at the gym, so I don't know any of that. Martial arts, yeah, but it's different. And muchas gracias, Antonio. Happy to be in España. Hello, Natrate. How are you doing, my friend? You're probably 100th person to ask how is Spain treating me, and as you can pretty much see, I'm in a good shape. I also have beer. I have my laptop, the camera, and people who I guess like Rauta content. So I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Good food, nice weather, and yeah, been listening to a lot of metal. You will definitely see some interesting reviews soon. For example, finally, the latest absurd one. So some controversy for you. Thank you, Hadurza. See you and talk to you later again. Yeah, Rob Hellfire, my diet is eat a lot. Abhorrent Spawn is asking me if I have ever been to Texas, and in fact, I have been to Dallas, and well, not much else to be honest. When I was having my road trip in 2013 in the United States, there was a 2 days layover in Dallas area when we got to visit the JF Kennedy museum as well as have some good food and visited South Fork Ranch, which was made famous by Dallas TV series. Yeah, I wish to go back to Texas. I would love to ride those horses in Texas area and shoot some guns. Brent Mons, no, I gotta say I don't know Molson. And how do you say it? Olgerd whatever is asking if I use steroids. No, I have never used steroids, and there is no reason for me to use them. Natred, I am actually kind of a whispering. I am talking in a rather low voice here intentionally, not in order to bother the neighbors. Thank you, Ackerbelts, about the Merkskog interview. It was my pleasure. They're really nice guys. I actually got to meet Thor at Midgard's Blood as well, and we had another talk right there. Those Merkskog guys are good people and they make good music. Let's hope that Thor and the guys will be doing more music in in the future as well. And talking about Inferno, the drummer of Behemoth, Terrestrial Hospice is out soon in February. That is the second album, and it's so much better than Behemoth. And Natred, Schwarze Band album by Absurd JFN version. And Charulamp is asking if I got to review or am I going to review the new Misturming? No, because Osmos, their label, is not replying to my emails. So they're not sending me. No, sorry, is Misturming on Osmos or Norma Diabolic, whatever the label is? They don't reply to my emails. So no, I'm not going to review that either. I find Pantera reunion interesting. I actually made a video about it last year. So yeah, I think it's good way, good possibility for people now see Pantera live. I've seen them in the 90s a couple of times, and Pantera was fire back then. So I guess yeah, people should go see Pantera reunion, even if it's half Pantera anyway, but still. And SK, yeah, most Icelandic black metal is not that good, but Misturming actually is good. Like I said, based on one go, I would say 8 out of 10. And the Hate Forest album is also pretty good. Ninox, I don't know when I'm going to the States. Currently, no plan. First of all, there is no budget for Rauta to go to the States. We simply don't have enough income to make a Rauta trip there. Would I personally love to go to the States? Definitely, but it's not in the foreseeable future. Yeah, naturally, I would love to visit Kentucky. That's a place I've never been to. But I've been telling a lot of people that when I was doing the road trip in the United States in 2015, it is still probably my favorite foreign trip ever because I get to see so many different states, so many different cities, and a lot of good people, interesting environments, good food, good beers, all that stuff. Yeah, I loved when I was in New York and other places, United States. So yeah, you can consider me kind of a fan of USA. Not only because I have friends in the United States, but so big country with a lot of interesting stuff to see. I always say people should definitely visit United States for vacation or whatever. Okay, reading the back scroll once again. Yeah, it would be cool to go to Texas, but like I said, unfortunately, not enough route budget to do it. Uh, to be honest, I don't think the new Behemoth was even close to being awesome. Terrestrial Hospice is so much better. The first album was really good, and then the second album is also not really. I think you should check out Angelus Apatrida from Spain, Uija or Uja, how do you pronounce it? And actually included some other bands. You can see my spreadsheet here. Try to find those Spanish albums I have reviewed. Yeah, and you say like War Master might be their weakest so far. And yeah, not to be honest, when Natrid was asking what's heavier than Pantera, not too many bands, to be honest. Oh yeah, check that I saw Pantera for the first time in 1994. They had Almighty to warm up and some other band. I can't remember whatever it was. They were nothing to me, but Pantera in 1994, imagine it around Far Beyond Driven. Fucking great. And then it was around 1998, maybe, or 1999 when they were playing here as well. I remember seeing them then back in the days. And yeah, I've seen Slayer in the 90s as well. You know, before uh, of those major lineup changes. Rob, gotta say, never heard Storm Ruler, but yeah, I would definitely do a lot of interviews if I was coming to the States. God damn it, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Olgerd? He's asking what's my favorite Paradise Lost album. That's a really good question because I love Paradise Lost. I guess In Requiem would be my favorite. Overall, Paradise Lost, most albums are really good in my opinion. And yeah, Rob, I would love to visit Canada as well, but like I said, it's out of Rauta budget currently anyway. Yeah, Natrid Ucha is definitely worth taking a look, and there were some other bands which I'm forgetting. I get to listen too many bands, and then I keep also forgetting them way too quickly. But that's why I have the list. Uh, Gotta say about Paradise Lost, the debut album is, in my opinion, the weakest, but Gothic is good. Although I hate the drumming. The drumming is outright bad. Believe in Nothing is also a great album. And one of my favorites is actually 1 Second. It's so dark, even though it's kind of a soft, but it's so dark and in a way very, very British, gloominess, melancholia. Rob, I'm glad that you saw Pantera in 2001. That's good. Uh, about Down, that's a band I could just never get into. Didn't actually click with me back in the days anyway. I don't know how I would feel about it now. SK, the new Ferkjord sounded quite good, but wasn't as good as the previous ones. Disgorge US or Disgorge Mexico. To be honest, it's been so many years since I heard Disgorge that I wouldn't even remember which one was better. Haven't been listening to them for like over 10 years or so. Yeah, Anselmo was in Necrophagia. Necrophagia is one of the best old school death metal bands of all time. And Rob, I guess Storm Ruler is good, but the thing is, I have so many albums I need to listen to. So hard for me to track everything down that I need to listen to. Yeah, Trevor, I am. I totally respect Phil Anselmo. He might have been, through a lot of rough patches and all that stuff in his life, but at least he has always been, you know, in the underground metal as well as, mainstream. And not a lot of people can say that about it. Yes, Jack, that I did a Paradise Lost interview, but only with their nowadays ex drummer Valtteri. So I never got to interview the main guys. I hope to do it with Paradise Lost someday. When, where, I don't know. Uh, Gotta say, I never saw the documentary called Paradise Lost. Nope. Hello, Germany. Knochenbach. How are you doing? Hello, Dimi. Yeah, I'm still here. Uh, I have never actually heard Meleth. I know them by name. I've known them for a lot of years, but never bothered to check them out. Couple of reasons. First of all, I'm always bombarded with a lot of review albums. I still have over 200 to review. And on top of that, I mostly go for some classic bands for, worst to best videos and all that stuff. So I don't really have time to go through all the bands that are out there. But I know the band by name. What's my opinion on gore grind? Well, never been a big grind fan, but there are bands which combine gory death metal with grind in a nice ways. So, I mean, technically speaking, I should like the genre more, but I don't know. A lot of grindy bands just bore me down. Last Days of Humanity is something I only know by name, never heard it, as far as I can remember. Yeah, Netrid, but at least my backlog is nowadays less than it was. It was like 300 more, 300 plus, and now it's like 220. But then again, I'm not getting the review CDs here. All my review CDs are sent home. So I'm technically speaking maintaining the illusion that my review pile is not growing. But nonetheless, even though I'm not necessarily listening to some trendy or infamous underground bands that you people like, have you heard this and that? I'm not maybe listening to them, but at least I'm listening to some that you people are not mentioning. So it kind of evens it out. But yeah, you're totally right. It's my Sisyphean task just to, you know, wrestle down my review pile. Yeah, Phil Anselmo was supposed to do Avon with Fenris and Sutter in late 90s. I think they released like one track, which was good. And then Avon was no more, which was bad because that one track that was like 1999 or so, that was good one, really good one. Uh, Timmy Fisher, you can try to include a link. I don't know if YouTube will block it, but I cannot promise any kind of a review. Hello, Knochenbach. Spain is treating me nicely. Thanks for asking. Warm and good food. Exhumed. Yeah, that I remember being pretty good. Which reminds me, the obituary is good. Review coming up. Conrad, I gotta say, I don't like Lepros because of the vocals, but the Jumalhamara EP, solid. Yes, checked out. I definitely play games. I just finished Deathloop before my trip to Spain. I was trying it to beat it so hard before my trip because I knew I was in the very end. And I've been streaming my Deathloop gaming sessions for my other channel, Rauta Beyond. Check that if you like want to see my gaming streams. Now I started God of War Ragnarok before I moved here, but since I didn't bring my PlayStation 5 here, it will be waiting for me in Finland when I'm back. That is probably going to continue with God of War Ragnarok in June. But however, I brought my Nintendo Switch and more importantly, my Xbox Series X here. And just this week, I started finally playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So currently I'm playing Mass Effect 1. I don't know if I'm able to stream it here because if I remember correctly, Xbox Series X don't directly support streaming on YouTube. And also because of neighbors and whatnot, I might not be too able to do streaming, you know, while including uh, my commentary. So might be just streaming without spoken parts included. But yeah, definitely playing. So currently playing Mass Effect 1. And I'm going to include uh, movie and TV show reviews on Rauta Beyond as well as my drone videos. So people who want to see Rauta Beyond metal, like the stuff that isn't fitting a Rauta channel, might want to check out Rauta Beyond. And other games I have here on top of Mass Effect Legendary Edition is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm finally going to play it, as well as the new A Plague Tale Requiem. So I brought basically 5 different games here with me, and then I have, of course, access to Microsoft Game Pass in case I have finished those 5 games within 6 months, which I doubt. Hola, Albert. Nice to have you here. And for this year's gaming, I'm mostly waiting Spider-Man 2, but also Starfield. And then there are plenty of other games which look so sweet. About Viking Crown, I remember it was being a tiny bit of a disappointment. I mean, it was decent, but not that great. Yeah, Demi Fisher, you can just try to uh, post links, and also, of course, you can always post those on Discord. Am I going to stream Stalker 2? I don't know. I don't know. I have so big backlog with games as well. Conrad, to be honest, I don't care so much about Ihsan either. But Lepro's vocals turned me off. Maybe they work as a background band for Isan, but Isan's solo material is not really my cup of tea either. Um, Ninox, I think the new Dark Throne album cover is crap. It's, in my opinion, stupid. But then again, I think that's what they tried to do, annoy people, troll them. I mean, it's not annoying me, but I feel it's out of place for Dark Throne. It seems like a joke, like a meme. So yeah, like Lex Beltran said, the new Dark Throne album cover is silly. Anal Natrak is not a great band if you ask me. Checked out, I have actually both Witcher games, at least 1 and 3. I still haven't played them because I was waiting for Witcher 3 to have the PlayStation 5 upgrade. I have it on PlayStation 4, so I hope to play that at some point on my PlayStation 5, which is in Finland. Knotpachen, no, we actually had that Hestsol conversation today earlier here in stream. I haven't yet heard it, but I know a friend of mine is playing in the band. I will definitely check out it later. Demi Fisher, my name on Discord. Let me copy that. Mm. So here is my Discord account, and people, uh, I strongly recommend people here on the stream to join Rauta's Discord for daily chats with me and other cool people on Rauta's Discord. And yeah, I must say, so far, the new Obituary album is my favorite for 2023. And my favorite 2022 album is going to be reviewed soon as well. And yeah, Dark Throne has been joke for quite a while. But at least the new album wasn't as bad as the Eternal Fails. SK, I think you're missing Panzer Force from your Dark Throne list. I think it's way better than A Place in the Northern Sky, which is, of course, a great album as well. Ivanus is asking, why is Below the Lights not my favorite Enslaved album? Because I think for Enslaved, it's quite a mediocre one. It's not even in my top 10 of Enslaved. I mean, I do love Enslaved, but Below the Lights is not a good album in my opinion. It's decent, but not good, not to mention great. And Enslaved in general is fucking great. And yeah, Eternal Fails is probably my least favorite Dark Throne album. Natred, I heard the new Out Autopsy album and I reviewed it on Rauta's podcast on Spotify. It's decent, but I wouldn't buy it. Hello, Alba. Nice to have you here. You are not on Discord anymore. Why so? New Ymir album was also a tiny bit of a disappointment. Yeah, naturally, I called it Eternal Fails because it was so bad. Can't say I know the band called Mitras. This is my favorite question today. Do I lose taste of life getting older? On the contrary, I do like life a lot. The older you get, the more experienced you get, the more you know what you like and the more you know what you don't like. I guess I have more friends now than ever, and doing Rauta is very rewarding because of a lot of people like you are on this stream. Doing these streams is fun and rewarding because I actually enjoy this interaction what I'm having with you people. So doing, for example, Rauta is a lot of fun because I get to talk like-minded people about metal. There's so many good albums I could listen to, so many good games. I have quite a bit of loved ones. I have plenty of good movies to watch, good series to watch, good books to read, good games to play. Workout is still fun for me, so definitely not losing fun or love of life, if you will. I am enjoying life a lot, I guess, more than ever, maybe. So I think getting older is a really, really good thing. Yeah, those Panzerfaust vocals are really good, and I can pretty much say that you will hear a little bit of those vocals in the new Nightside material whenever you hear it. And Brian Mons, yeah, Rune is definitely one of the better ones by Enslaved. Eld is also amazing album. Benji, nah, gotta say, oi kind of stuff is not my thing. Duke of Gloat was actually one of the better ones by Newer Era Dark Throne, but even that was too lengthy. So, nah, All Star is decent, but not something I would buy. Chuck Dodd is asking if I like ABBA. No, I mean they have decent songs, and I totally respect them for their career, but I wouldn't listen to ABBA, just for enjoyment. Alba, I understand. Too bad that you decided to leave the stream because I mean, you're a good guy. I like you, and I missed the talks we had on Discord. But then again, I understand if Discord is getting too annoying. Of course, you're gonna leave it. That's fine. But I hope to have beers with you someday again. Thank you, Abhorrent Spawn. Those words are very nice and sweet to hear from you. Thank you. What is Knochenbach is asking what's my favorite Finnish word? It's perkele. Uh, my thirdly, Disintegrator Metal for Demons is quite a bad of an album. I mean, it didn't work back in the days, and I doubt it would work today. I think it was too much tongue in the cheek kind of a album, too much a kind of a drunken side project. AL, I gotta say I haven't been listening to Bethlehem for ages, but I remember that Dark Metal and Dictius de Necare were good and dark albums. I guess I need to revisit them. I remember them being pretty good. Timmy Fisher, most horror movies bored the shit out of me. I could just easily drop my top two favorite horror movies, and they would be The Thing and Alien. But most horror movies are just boring. I don't feel the horror. But horror games, different thing. Thank you, Rob Hellfire. It's nice to hear those words. Yeah, Natural, I am pretty convinced you will like New Nightside when you hear it. We recorded three new songs, and I'm really happy about it. I'm picky. I wouldn't praise those songs if they were not good. So I hope that we could to play them more live. We played them once, and now we recorded a demo, which we will be sending to the labels once it's mixed and mastered. If I have to choose between NSBM or DSBM, definitely DSBM. I don't like most NSBM. More often, too political, too melodic, too cheesy. DSBM, dark, sinister, suicidal. Ivan Uzi is asking me a good question. Favorite artist I got drunk with during an interview. Mostly I don't get drunk with interviews or, well, the artists because there is no booze around. But I was a bit tipsy with Inquisition before the actual interview, though. Natrid, no, I'm not used to so much warmth during the winter. Definitely no. Yes, Charlamp, the bassist of Höstsoul and Ayattara was in Nightside with me. Yeah, Vesa, he's a nice dude. Um, Timmy Fisher, I can't say I'm played actual horror games, but I know that games including horror elements can really get under my skin, and I kind of like it. Yes, Charlamp, Vesa was a good friend of mine back in the days when he was in Nightside. I now rarely see him, but he's a good lad. Uh, Unfortunately, never been to Kilklim Chaibu festival, but I've been told it's a nice festival. Abhorrent Spawn. I haven't been to any shows lately. That is after New Year. The last show I was actually our own show with Nightside and Korkon Turus in Turku. Yes, Jack, that I think the thing is one of the best remakes ever. Uh, Tim Richards, I think Minenwerfer is quite okay. I have reviewed it. If you wanna take a look, please do. AL, yeah, I guess I need to revisit Bethlehem when I have time, but currently I'm going through a Swedish disbanded black metal one, which I'm going to do make the, worst to best video, I hope, this month. Alba, I hope that you will be at Steelfest, and if you do, let's have beers. Demi Fisher, I'll take your word for Poughkeepsie tapes. Naturid, I hope to be Conan and coming back to Finland with bronzed skin, but that's not very likely. Though I don't burn easily, but not likely. I'm not the kind of a person who does sunbathing. Yeah, may Angelo Badalamenti rest in peace. He did great work, especially with Twin Peaks. I didn't like Resident Evil 4, but I should definitely play Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village. And Dead Space remake is something that I also wait for. Checked out. I didn't need encouragement for the Inquisition interview. The thing here is, I didn't have any certain time agreed with Dagon, so people kept buying me shots, hey, let's have shots at Steelfest, another shot and another shot. And then I had some beer, and then Dagon is calling me, like, hey, what's up, man? I would be ready for the interview. And I'm like, fuck, I just had 4 shots of Mintu and beer. So, yeah, I was a little bit tipsy, especially in the beginning of the interview. But, yeah. But I mean, that happens. And I still think that Inquisition interview went fine, even though I was a bit tipsy. And it's not like Dagon minded me being that. That's how I feel about it anyway. I haven't tasted one Graben wines, even though I know I should for Satyricon sake. Oh yeah, Shining is a good horror movie, definitely. That would be probably up in my top 5 or so. Oh, Nanax, I think the singer of Dark Funeral was actually pretty nice and friendly with me. I think he might have been a little bit reserved. I mean, he didn't know me, and it might be just some Swedish thing, really. But I think he was very, very friendly um, with me off camera, for example. We talked about, for example, extensive Bathory writings, like a book or whatever. So I think he was very, very nice with me. I cannot say that nobody has been an asshole to me when doing interviews. Like everybody has been more or less respectful, which actually sounds a little bit weird now that I'm saying it. But it seems like the people who are ready to do an interview with me, uh, they behave properly, nicely, respectfully. Yes, I've been actually talking about on Rauta Discord that we should have Rauta meet at some of those festivals, and I'm thinking of doing a Rauta meet at Inferno and probably at Steelfest. And if those go well, we could have more Rauta meets. People from Discord, people from the channel, and of course me at those meets. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I think we're a lot of like-minded people about metal, so I hope people would be up for that. Now, I have been arranging all kind of online meets since the 90s when I was playing a lot of online games, for example. We had great meets in Finland, for example. That is, we had these IRC meets and Batmod meets, people like minded, especially a lot of metalheads. We would gather around for beers and talks, and they were fantastic. Actually, I think a lot of Finnish black metal scene is partially, um, I think it's originated uh, because of those IRC meets in the 90s. Think of me and Horna guys, Satanic Warmaster included, and a lot of those people, we had already chats in the 90s. And we would gather around. For example, some gig would be in Helsinki, Finland, and we would go there. We could, you know, organize that kind of a meet in Helsinki, just over internet, IRC. So for me, organizing those kind of meets, it's a no-brainer. When I was playing World of Warcraft and being the guild master in one of those raiding guilds, and we had a lot of Finnish metalheads playing World of Warcraft. We also had fantastic online meets with people. Some came from Denmark, Sweden, even one guy from Scotland, and a lot of Finns. And we would just get drunk, drinking beer and get to know the faces behind those online nicknames. And they were good. So I'm very, very used to having to, organize and sort out those all kind of online meets. And I think we should definitely do one of those meets at Inferno and Steelfest. So yeah, definitely up for that. And if somebody's shy enough not to come, well then don't. But I mean, you all know me by the face and my stories, so you probably know it's not going to be anything too serious, relaxing and stuff like that. So glad that A reminded me of that. Yeah, Gyro Lamp, that Inquisition joke about the grandma style, that was kind of a running joke for a lot of years, I guess. So I had to do it. I had to ask it. AL, I was actually part of Loputon Gehennan Liekki documentary. You actually see me in the documentary if you haven't noticed. I mean, I have long hair there, but I'm right there in the documentary after Mikko Aspa. And I think it's a good documentary. We actually spoke about it with Sami Kettunen, the director of the documentary. And Charolamp, yeah, I think Dagon did that Inquisition interview in a very, very professional manner, being very well spoken and honest, in my opinion. And yeah, he didn't decline any of my questions about Twin Peaks. That is up in my top five, or actually top three of all times when it comes to TV shows. Joe Lecce is asking me what I think about young mans of nowadays. I think be true, be honest, be thirsty. Uh, Metal is young man's game. We old farts are going to be replaced. So we need those thirsty guys to do that. Yeah, I've heard Spawn. I think they know that I would wrestle them down. Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Rob, Dagan was definitely friendly. We have been in touch after the interview as well, and he has my respect. Benji, Laura Palmer tattoo. Wow, amazing. Gotta say, I didn't like Lost Highway when I saw it. I mean, it didn't annoy me, but didn't get me going. So far, my favorite Lynch movie is definitely Mulholland Drive. And yeah, Natrid, we are actually going to have sauna at Steelfest as well. Demons by Dostoevsky. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it. I don't know too much about political radicalism to comment it. Uh, while Lauri asked me to blur YouTube video, it's all described in the video, partially because of the comments. Yeah, Ackerbelts, I hope you can make it to Steelfest. If not, just hit me up. Yeah, Lamb is weird that Mikko Espa likes to be that shadowy because everybody knows how he looks like, and he is a common visitor in those festivals like Steelfest. Gotta say about Mulholland Drive, when I was in Los Angeles area, we actually drove up to Mulholland Drive. It was like mind blowing. Yeah. Now I think I have reached the whole backlog of the chat. I guess I can bounce off. No, no, I didn't get shot in LA. I had a good time in LA, or more like Santa Monica. All right, guys. So let's plan for Inferno Festival and Steelfest meets later on. I will be definitely addressing the topics later when the festivals are closing in. And should I have some opportunities to interview bands here in Spain, I will definitely do that. But for the time being, I have no idea. Yes, AL, you probably didn't notice me because I had long hair and a goatee. Mind you, that was done in around what 2009 or so when it was filmed. Well, anyway, yeah. Brian, I had two beers, not just one. Hey, sorry, what was 2009? I mean, Brian Mons, I never drink just one beer. Come on, you should know me. Hey, I think it was 2009 when I was interviewed for the documentary. Anyway, my laptop battery is going to die soon. So I think I'm going to bounce off. SK, yes, you're definitely drinking this year if you're coming to Steelfest. You and me, we're gonna have a couple of beers. Yeah, checked out my friend Chris C is making good fun with those thumbnails for the videos. Benji, definitely make it to Steelfest. Yes. SK, you think I'm going to drink non-alcoholic beers with you? What the fuck? All right, thank you, Abhorrent Spawn, and the rest of you guys. It's time to bounce off, and I plan to do next Rauta stream roughly in about 3 weeks. Should my plans work fine, expect the next stream on 4th of February. We'll see about later on, but roughly early February should be the next stream, roughly in about 3 weeks. I usually aim for the first weekend of any given month, but we'll see if there are some plans for me to do. And yeah, SK, the Steelfest can be the exception, and all that stuff. Thank you for being part of the stream. Take care and speak to you soon. And once again, remember to check out Rauta Beyond channel for non-metal content. Remember to check out Rauta's Discord for daily chats and whatever. And of course, check out my Instagram for non-metal photos. I shall be uploading some of my Spain photos on my Instagram. And what else? In case you want to support Rauta's future adventures when it comes to interviews and whatnot, consider becoming Rauta's Patreon on patreon.com. I will send you the link. I don't expect you to participate since some of you are already supporters on Rauta's Patreon. I guess it's worth giving you the link and you can decide whether or not you want to support. Thank you, Benji. Happy New Year 2023. And I will definitely bring you some interesting interviews this year as Well, take care, SK. We will have a good weekend later on. And Knochenbach, hyvää iltaa. And I should say, buenas noches. Thanks for being part of the stream. Talk to you later and all that stuff. Happy New Year 2023.